They build billion-dollar empires without writing a single line of code. They live in silence, but control companies louder than any voice on Wall Street. No spotlight, no tweets, just decisions, so powerful they decide which technologies rise and which vanish overnight. But then one hug, one glance, one mistake, and it all collapses. What is real power? Let's step inside the silent lives of the men who ruled everything until they couldn't even rule themselves. The silent kings of the tech empire, Byron and Jiang Fan. Hidden in pine-covered hills of New England lies a quiet wooden villa. Thousands of miles away, a penthouse towers above Shanghai's skyline. Somewhere between these two extremes, a man runs hundreds of thousands of digital operations with nothing more than a nod. But then, with just a single moment, a glance, a message, a wrong hug, the empire begins to fall. From Byron, the engineer who couldn't code, to Jiang Fan, the man who changed how China shops, one truth connects them. The more control they gained over the world, the less they had over themselves. Byron, the billionaire without a keyboard. Byron never fit the tech world stereotype. He didn't grow up surrounded by gadgets or engineers. He grew up in a quiet Ohio neighborhood where family dinners meant more than future plans. No coding boot camps, no Stanford degree, just an old TV, a bookshelf full of business books his father left behind, and a mind that quietly observed. So how did someone who struggled with math end up running a data empire, handling over 100,000 workflows a day? He had one superpower. He could read people. And he didn't build software. He built trust. For over 2 decades, he jumped between rising companies like Cybereason and Lacework, not writing code, but steering their vision. Whenever a company was on the edge of collapse, his presence somehow brought it back. In 2023, he took over as CEO of Astronomer. No flashy announcements, just results. Within months, Astronomer was running critical data systems for brands like Adobe, Nielsen, and Rappi. Valued at over $1.2 billion, it became one of the most powerful data orchestration companies in the world. And Andy? He remained in the background. No media interviews, no headline-grabbing speeches, just quiet control. So we ask, is power about visibility or about what happens when no one is watching? The Byron family, wealth that whispers. Unlike most tech elites, the Byron family doesn't post vacations in the Maldives or snapshots of private jets. They live in a wooden house in Massachusetts, where weekends mean analog film, stargazing, and fire-lit dinners, not Silicon Valley boardrooms. Megan Byron, Andy's wife, once had a promising future in fashion photography, but she chose a life of shadows and light, documenting the world through film in a glass-roofed attic studio. Her work isn't displayed in galleries or sold online. It's tucked away in wooden boxes, unseen but deeply felt. Their daughter, Evie, is just as surprising. No social media, no designer clothes. At 14, she applied for an internship at NASA, driven not by prestige, but by genuine curiosity. Her birthday gift? A telescope. Her dream? To understand the stars. On Sundays, the Byron house goes silent. No phones, no TV, just a fireplace and stories. Andy talks data. Megan talks light. Evie talks galaxies. This isn't a performance. It's how real power lives, quietly, intentionally, away from applause. When a hug breaks a kingdom. Then came the moment that shattered it all. A Coldplay concert, a kiss cam, laughter from the crowd. And then the world noticed. The man on screen, Byron. The woman? Not Megan. Within hours, the video went viral. Social media exploded. Memes, jokes, anger. By morning, the narrative shifted. The engineer who didn't code was now a CEO who couldn't explain a hug. Kristen Cabot, the HR director at Astronomer, was the other person in the shot. The fallout was instant. Andy stepped down. Kristen was suspended. The company froze. Investors panicked. Employees whispered. If he betrayed his family, what would he do to us? Megan deleted every online trace of their life together. No press statements, no dramatic scenes, just silence and heartbreak. And Andy? He disappeared. No tweets, no apologies, just one email. 2 words, thank you. The man who once guided complex systems with ease was now drowning in something no algorithm could fix: emotion. Jiang Fan, the dreamer who changed a nation. Across the world, a similar story unfolded. Jiang Fan grew up in a crumbling apartment in Hangzhou, China. His mornings were filled with the sound of street vendors, his winters with cold bedsheets. He didn't grow up dreaming of power. He dreamed of survival. Through relentless studying, he entered Fudan University, a dream for millions. He studied engineering but obsessed over economics and user behavior. In 2006, he imagined a world where people could shop with just their phones. People laughed. A decade later, China was living that dream. Jiang joined Alibaba in 2007. Quietly, he rose. Behind Singles Day, behind the billions spent in mere minutes, was Jiang Fan. Jack Ma saw him as a successor. Investors saw him as the future. He owned luxury cars, flew private, lived in penthouses. But nothing in his life was louder than his silence. Then came Zhang Daiji, a social media star turned fashion mogul. Beautiful, influential, irresistible. Rumors surfaced. A car spotted outside her home. A leaked chat. Then came the knife. A single Weibo post by Zhang's wife, Dong Hua, calling Zhang the third wheel. The media went berserk. Shareholders panicked. Jiang was removed from Alibaba's top leadership. No press conference. No redemptionak. Just a quiet exit. What remains when it all falls apart? Today, Jiang Fan is nowhere to be seen. No private jets. No boardrooms. Only a masked man seen once at an airport, walking alone. The man who revolutionized China's digital economy can't even restart his own life. Zhang Daiji disappeared too. Her brand contracts ended. Live streams canceled. In an old video, she said, "I can lose everything, but not him." But now, neither of them have each other. So we ask, what does it mean to have it all? Fame? Gone. Power? Fragile. Family? Distant. Love? Costly. Both Andy and Jiang were masters of systems. But in a world where everything can be automated, neither could automate what matters most: the human heart. Perhaps real power isn't what you control. It's what you have the wisdom not to touch. So, in your opinion, who truly holds the power? The one in the spotlight, or the one pulling the strings behind it until one string pulls too far? Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more stories about the unseen lives of the world's most powerful people. Thank you for watching.